to Luminary Leaders Live. My name is Shelly Harrison, and we are live here with you today. And I have a great guest. You can see her next to me. Her name is Jay Hidalgo, and she is a children's book author. And we're going to get into the book and talk about that. Just a little bit about Luminary Leaders. So we have this show, and I'm also the show host for Amplify Your Influence with Connected Women of Influence. And my show is called Amplify Your Influence. And then I also work with the Veterans Chamber of Commerce, and I'm a radio host. In fact, I'll be hosting a show tomorrow through the National Veterans Radio Show. So with that, I want to introduce my guest, Jay Hidalgo. And like I mentioned, she is a new author, and we're so excited for her. And you'll hear about why and what the characters depict in the book and everything. She is a behavioral therapist. And right now, she's doing some great work. And again, the book, we'll put the link. In fact, the link is showing right now. So once you find out about this book, I know you're going to want a copy. So without further ado, I want to welcome my guest, Jay Hidalgo. Hi, Jay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. And I know you're coming to us on your phone, but it looks great. And, we'll definitely make sure that, we really find out and dig deep as far as what the book is about and all about you. So I would love for you to share with our audience. Tell us about yourself, Jay.
Okay. So my name's Janeth, but I go by Jay. It's just easier. And it was easier for the kids as well, for the kids that I worked with before. Yeah. I'm 27 years old. I am a grad student at Pepperdine University.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. I am doing the clinical psychology course there. In hopes that I graduate soon after I'm done having this baby, because I am pregnant.
Congratulations. Yeah. And can you reveal the boy or girl?
Yes, it's a girl.
A girl. How exciting.
Yeah, thank you. It's funny because I found out I was pregnant after the book was done, and people were like, wait, did you write a children's book because you're pregnant? And I'm like, I swear I didn't.
It wasn't planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have been in this field now for about 6 years. I've worked with children of all ages. I found working with children just like something that really inspired me, because it was a way that I could just be myself and just be. And but yeah, it's been fun. Other than that, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. All that I can say about myself.
Well, you'll have lots more to say after the baby is born, and I know that there are some plans for the book and a series.
Oh,
yeah. And Jay, as far as just the book itself, when you look back and you think, gosh, how did this fast forward? How did you do this? I mean, what was that first vision that you had of creating this book and writing it?
It started with, I used to work at an elementary school, and I would notice that, when we would integrate the children with like autism, and we would integrate them with like the quote unquote regular children from the other, that they wouldn't really know how to like approach the kids with autism. So in my head, I'm like, I wonder if there's like books out there that like teach or not even teach, but like that brings awareness of children with autism and how to like approach, how to make friends with them. Because at the end of the day, they're really cool little kiddos. So like in my head, I'm like, how can I help them, or how can I help a parent teach their child to, teach their kid how to make friends with just children with diverse needs. So I remember it was back in November, and I was just like, my boyfriend had bought me an iPad, and I started just kind of doodling and kind of writing notes on how to approach children. And I basically used the kids that I worked with. I would see how they would interact with each other, how they interact with like the other kiddos. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to start writing this stuff down. And I just started noting all of that. And it just like randomly in my head, I was like, I should probably like contact which the illustrator is a cousin of mine, and she's a really good.
She did a great job. Oh my gosh, beautiful, beautiful illustrations and
Yeah.
adorable characters. And I can't wait to show people, but we want to hear more because I love this story.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
I contacted her and I was like, hey, like, I have this like book in mind, but I'm not sure how to go about the characters. And she was like, well, I actually don't do like like little characters. I just do kind of more like anime, but let's do it. Let's work together. And I'm like,
Oh
okay.
gosh.
And her worked on every single character, one
Oh.
by one. And I mean, there was times where she would send me one and I'm like, no, it doesn't look right. Can you add this? No, that doesn't look right. Can you add this?
Yeah.
And then I contacted my brother's girlfriend, which is Sarah. And
Yeah.
I asked her, I'm like, hey, like, you're fresh in this field, because I got her hired at the job that she's at right now.
Yeah.
Children with autism as well. And I'm like, you're fresh in this field. Like, I need that, like,
Kind of that fresh perspective.
yeah, I was like, I need that fresh perspective on, autism, behavioral therapy, ABA. Like, I want to hear thoughts on like this book that I'm starting to write. And she was like, yeah, like, I'm totally down to help you, because obviously my perspective on it, I mean, I started 6 years ago. A lot has changed in the 6 years.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Continually changing.
oh, constantly. So I had, I'm like, let me ask her, let me see what she says. And then slowly but surely, this like snowball just became bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, okay, now product, right? I have this book in mind. I'm starting working on the characters. I have a co-author because she's helping me edit and write and stuff like that. So now I'm like, where do I put it? Like, how
do you get it out there?
Yeah.
And you did it rather fast too. I was shocked. My daughter, because my daughter is, the person that you're describing. And when she told me, I'm like, already? My gosh, that was fantastically quick. Very quick.
Yeah. It's funny because I was like on my illustrator. I was on Sarah. I was like, Sarah, come on. Like, she would call me and she's like, I just don't know where to start. I'm like, just start. Like, I don't know how.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just start.
Yeah.
Let's put our, thoughts and ideas together. And then I started researching, where can I publish a book like independently, like without anybody. And then I started researching Amazon and then Barnes and Noble. And I was like, okay, like, here, I just started doing all the work, and I finally did it. And I published it on and Barnes and Noble, and now it's like,
it's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, that just shows determination. And not only that, you have passion, working and compassion, working with, children with special needs. And I think, if you could just share a little bit, Jay, you've been in this field for a long time. I know even myself, sometimes I have family and friends who have children with special needs, some of them, and it's unique the way that you approach them. And tell us a little bit about maybe how people can approach children or adults with autism or other types of special special things.
I think definitely if you yourself like are a mom and have a child with autism, I think when you arrive to a spot and you see that there's another kiddo there, I think like just seeing them interact, and obviously you as a mom are gonna know your kids' behaviors, that they can interact appropriately, then let them happen. Let it happen like organically. But if you, for example, if you a mom that doesn't have a child with autism see a child with autism or suspect or anything like that, I think just approaching the mom or the dad, the parent, the figure that's next to the child, and asking, hey, like, can my kid play with your kid? And that way that conversation can happen organically. I mean, obviously some parents might not want to mention like my kid has autism, but I do know a lot of moms that are very, very open with them. And so like if they have somebody that comes up to them and asks like, hey, can my child play with your kid? And then that mom, self-discloses like, hey, my child does have autism, and might hit, or whatever the behavior might, be, might have aggression or spitting or,
Yeah.
So that way that the other mom is aware that they can, you know, just be kind of,
If things can happen, just to
right,
be aware of it, be more kind of aware of what can happen.
right. And obviously
Mm.
I'm just speaking from what I would do when I would have my kids interact when I worked. They're not my kids, but when I would
Right.
work,
The kid, yeah, the kiddos that you take care of
exactly,
or
the
work
kids
with. Yeah.
care of, and that I would work with, when me and another therapist would have our child interact, we were obviously watching them and observing them,
Mm-hmm.
and but them to play organically and just have fun, and yeah. So I think obviously I'm speaking from an outsider's perspective as well, because I am not a mom
Yeah.
with a child. So that is something that, I mean, I would love to see more at parks and stuff like that, just parents interacting with other parents, like, and just being open, um, you know, their child, and letting the children just play organically and just letting them have fun. And like, every kid, you know, might have some type of behavior that another parent might not like, but just letting that happen, um, organically, and just having them
Yeah.
happen at the end of the day, I think would be great, you know?
Yeah, because it could go one way or the other. It just depends on what kind of provokes, a child that might have, autism or some other type of, special. I know there's an appropriate term for it. Tell us what, kind of like me, here I am, I'm not really sure how to say it, but is there a way that you can, kindly mention, a child? I mean, because you don't want to call a child out and say, oh, they have autism. But what is a proper way of approaching that?
Um, I think it depends on the situation, depends on the kiddo, it depends on the parent, how open they are with the
Yeah.
diagnosis. Um, I do know moms that are very open, and they,
Hmm.
know, don't mind saying, "Hey, my child has autism."
Yeah.
So I think it just depends on the parent, depends on the situation, um, especially because it is a sensitive topic, you know, and
Of
it's
course.
obviously my book touches its diverse needs. So there's, it could be sign language, it could be somebody that's deaf. So like,
Mhm.
I think it depends on the parent at the end of the day, how they want to go about, you know, talking about their own child.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. And that is great information. I think that'll help some people that, that are out there, and I know I have, one friend who, she's my best friend, and, her son, he has a different form of, special type of behavior. And I mean, he's a wonderful, person. And I mean, I've seen him grow up, and now he's a man. He was a child, or baby when I first met him. And here he is, 24 or 25, or I think somewhere around there. But he's, very mild and active. But there's certain things that he can't do, because of his, situation. But his mom has done a wonderful job, throughout his life, making sure that he had the best, resources and people that could help in, just help in his development.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's see that book. I would love to have you show. It's a hardcover. It's beautiful, and let's take a
Oh
look
yeah.
at that, Jay. That is so pretty.
So
And
this,
look at that. Look at the character. That's busy Bella B.
yeah.
And you have other characters in there. Can you talk a little bit, Jay, about the other characters, and tell us how it relates to your own family?
Yes. So this is the hardcover edition, and this one's going to be on Barnes and Noble, and then the paperback edition is on Amazon. This hardcover started with Busy Bella B, right? Let me show you. She's super cute, and I named her Busy Bella B. Bella being my niece, and then I named her Busy Bella B because some children with autism are constantly hand flapping, they're constantly moving. So I saw that that is a behavior, and I wanted to make it, you know, in a way, a character that was really cute. And so I used my
And
niece.
she is.
Uh,
Yeah. That's
and
so
I
cool.
when I was working with my illustrator, I was like, you know, she's super cute. She has chubby cheeks. I wanted the rosy pink cheeks. I wanted
Yeah.
a bow because she was just always wearing cute little bows. She's 9 months now, so this
Oh,
I first started this, she was only a couple months old.
my
Now
gosh.
she's about hats. She's not about bows. So then I have that character, and that's about
Yeah. And the detail, I mean, just the way you describe that, it's not just a bee or, a picture or illustration. It's very carefully crafted based on your vision.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have, for example, I'll show you another one. I'm not sure if you
Oh, yeah.
character. And so this little beetle is based off my cousin Julio. And this character actually has headphones, which is
Oh,
something that you'll see quite often with children with
when he's
autism,
wearing
because they have, yeah, they have like they could have sensory overload. So most
oh,
or
yeah.
some autism have headphones. So I created
Mhm.
that character to have headphones. I also created another character that has, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that. So this has a little
Mhm.
iPad. And some children with autism they don't talk, so they'll use a Proloco or an app to communicate. So I made
Yeah.
sure that I had like that in the book. And
Mm.
that one based off my cousin Julian, which is so funny because he's always like either on his iPad or video games. I based it off that. And then, yeah, I have other little characters here. They're all very, very cute.
They're adorable. When I first opened the book, because I'll have to admit, I ordered 20 copies, and I need to give a shout out to one of my clients who he bought 10 copies, Mark Mays with Mays and Associates. He's an executive business advisor. And he said, I want the book. I want 10 copies because I want to give it to clients and, people that he knew that had autistic children. So thank you, Mark, for purchasing those books.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's really exciting about this, Jay, is, and as soon as I saw the book, I'm like, my mind started spinning, because I was seeing bookmarkers with every single character. I'm seeing stuffed animals and then you've got the idea, and this is something that's probably already in the works, but let's talk about a series. You were thinking, or that's something that's on the board, right? With a
Yes.
series of books.
Yeah, so I have 14 characters, and my goal is to create a social story for each character. So the first book was on Bella, and all the characters are in it. The second book, all characters will be in it, but the main focus would be I haven't chosen the character yet, but I'm leaning towards the dinosaur. And then that book is going to be, and we're actually going to be working with my sister because her husband is in the military. And
Oh, wonderful.
we want to create a book to just kind of teach children that are in the military, like that military children, teach them how to cope when their parent or their mom, dad gets,
Deployed or
deployed
yeah.
to another country,
Mhm.
like that. So we want to
That
teach.
is fantastic.
We want to
And
just.
thank him for his service too.
Oh yeah, especially
Yeah.
Memorial Day that just happened. But yeah, and it also relates to my niece too in a way because she is a military baby, so that will just teach her too when she's growing up if her dad ever gets deployed, how to cope like with the dad leaving.
Right.
So that is going to be in the works. My sister and I are going to be working on it soon and just getting the ball rolling with that.
Exciting.
Yeah, and from
Yeah, and what go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say from what I've noticed is once I start this snowball, it just gets bigger and bigger. So it should be.
How exciting. Yeah. Well, and I love that you've brought your whole family into it because it has meaning. A lot of people write books about, things that are topics like on leadership or management, or, and there's stories out there. There's fictional and non-fictional. And what this is a really a kind of a passion, because you had an initial idea to help families, with autistic children and, other kinds of children too. Because when I read the book, I thought, this could even apply to kids that are, socially uncomfortable, and maybe they don't have any form of, special need like that. But I just love that you brought your family into this. And I'm wondering, being that you're having a little girl, will she become part of the series?
Oh, that is most likely going to happen.
Oh, I love it. Good. Fantastic. And that, we're going to stay tuned to, once you get the book with as far as the military, we definitely want to get you on the Veterans Radio show to talk about that, because we have an audience there that would just love to, have access to that. So we're coming to the end of the show, Jay, and I want you to kind of share with the audience, what is that one thing that you want to leave with them, just regarding the book, things that, that are out there that you see in the world that need to be addressed. But what is that one thing that you'd like to leave with our audience?
I think I would like to leave them with just bringing awareness to autism. We can always, have more of that. And not just autism, just children with diverse needs, because there are a lot out there, and bringing awareness to them, and obviously having fun and just being like creative when we talk about, children with autism or children with diverse needs. So, yeah. Definitely more awareness.
That's great input. And we want to congratulate you on your pregnancy with your daughter, who's going to be born in September, right? What is the due date?
September 29th.
September 29th. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And we want to let our audience know that you can get your own copy of this book, or maybe gift it to someone that, maybe a friend, family member, someone who has, is near and dear to autism. The book can be purchased on Amazon. We have the link there that you can take a picture of it. So you can go right to Amazon, or you could just simply look at The Family Adventures, Busy Bella B. And it's also available at Barnes & Noble hardcover. So great gift, birthday gift, or, just whatever you want to do to just spread the love. So Jay, I want to thank you so much for being on Luminary Leaders Live today. I know this has been fun. This is the first time that we've had a chance to really kind of chat, and here we're doing it live. How about that?
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to publicly thank you too, because we didn't talk about it a lot. My daughter, who is a behavioral technician, like you mentioned earlier, you did get her into this industry and field. And I really appreciate that, because she loves her job. She loves the kiddos, just like, you've worked with them too. And I can see her doing very well in the industry. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we want to say, until next time, today my guest was Jay Hidalgo, and she is a children's book author. And you want to catch the screen there to get the Amazon link, or buy it at Barnes & Noble. But we want to say, have a wonderful day, and we will catch you next time. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, audience.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.